Devin Miller, a welcome back to Marshall University. Excited to have you back in the athletic department.
I'm so excited to be back. Thankful for the opportunity. Couldn't be more blessed, man.
All right. You played at Marshall, part of the Herd football team, for 6 years. Your first catch on the blue turf at Boise State, all the way through your last catch on the teal turf at the Myrtle Beach Bowl. But people, I'm guessing, talk to you and want to talk about one thing. Notre Dame Stadium, one of the great moments, the catch in the end zone that put Marshall ahead to stay at Notre Dame. That has to be still a memory that brings chills.
It does. It brings chills for me, chills for many others too. And I'm just so honored to be the one who had caught that go-ahead touchdown. So honored to be a part of that win. It was a great game and a great victory for the Herd.
So you can either remember every single detail or it all becomes a blur. For that, you remember every detail, don't you?
I remember every detail down to the call, trips right, flop, a race. Couldn't ever forget it. And, I mean, honestly, the call was probably pretty good, but it just came down to guys making plays. Henry extended it, and I came open on the scramble drill. So it was an amazing play.
So you can't get tired of talking about that. It's Thanksgiving holiday in the year 2050. You're going to be around the table, and somebody's going to say, "Hey, Granddad, tell us about that Notre Dame game again." You're still going to be fired up for it, aren't you?
I will still be fired up about it, and anytime somebody sees Notre Dame, I'll let them know that story too. That's part of my family, but I thankfully for me, there's a lot of camera angles and different photographs of it all, so I'll be able to show them every detail.
So that pops out to everybody's memory, anybody who's a Marshall fan. But what about your overall experience as a football player at Marshall University, a student athlete at Marshall University? What are the things that stand out to you when you think back upon your career?
It was a long career for sure, but I just felt a lot of love from this community. I became a father while I was at Marshall, and I met the girl I want to marry soon at Marshall. I'm just so thankful for it all. I mean, I got a great education. I found out what I wanted to do professionally, and I learned a lot. And I met so many great people. Whether it was people coming back here, which happened a lot, and people who have transferred to other places that still come back here, and coaches that have left that still talk about their experience at Marshall and honor the 75 and things like that. It was an amazing experience for me personally.
So your playing career ended a couple of years ago. What have you been doing since then? And then what was the process that brings you back into the Marshall Athletic Department?
My playing career ended about a year and a half ago, or a year and over half now. Wow. But I was working at Enterprise for a little bit. I worked there for about a year and change, and I learned a lot professionally from them, got some good training and great experience. Very thankful for that opportunity. But once I got a phone call from a certain person with the last name Crisp, I knew I wanted to come back and be a part of the Herd, and I just couldn't pass on that opportunity.
What were the things outside of football that you learned as a student and a student athlete at Marshall that helped you transition into the professional world?
I learned we had a lot of opportunities on just how to carry yourself, and preparation from Coach Huff specifically on life after football. Coach Mike Bartram did a lot for us as players, and letting us understand that the ball will not always be in your hands. It's not always going to be football that is going to feed your family. No matter if you play in the NFL for 10 years or 15 years, you're going to have to be a professional at some point and make a living. So that was always understood by us. And academically, it was a lot of support in that Buck Harless Center. I understood myself that there was a lot of things that made this ship go as far as the athletic department. Since I had been here so long, I started noticing things and people moving around, and that's where I knew I wanted to be. But that's all thanks to the leadership that we had here, and ultimately the support from the rest of the university outside of athletics too, that let us know that we could be successful outside of sports.
So tell us about your role. What is your exact title, and what kind of things are you tasked with doing for Marshall now?
I am the director of the Marshall Athletics Fund. It's our annual scholarship fund. I'm going to be tasked with fundraising for all of our athletic scholarships, and that after that scholarships are taken care of, it goes towards our nutrition, our strength and conditioning facilities, things like that. Everything that helps all of our athletes, and letting people know that they can be a part of this and we need them. They make a difference in our program, and they matter to us as well. And they really are a part of our family. Whether you can contribute as little as $5 a month or $1 million a year, that matters no matter what it is. That's going to be my job, and getting people to really care for the herd as much as they do and show it. So I'm excited.
So you've been and are a part of the Marshall family for some time now, but once upon a time, you're a guy in New Jersey. What was the process? What brought you to Marshall? And then how did not only the university, but the community of Huntington and the tri-state area kind of grow upon you, and what do you see the role of Marshall within the community now?
Yeah. When I took my first visit here, I had no expectations, really. Me and my dad came down here after signing day. I didn't know where I was going to go at the time. I was headed towards JUCO because I wanted to play at that big Power 5 level. I knew both of my brothers played at that level, and they had all the resources in the world to be successful, and that's something that I wanted. And once I took my visit here, I started to take a look around, and I realized that all the resources were right here. And then on top of that, after looking out for myself kind of selfishly, knowing like, all right, they have the tools that I need to succeed, everything started stacking upon it, like a championship type of culture here. Championships are being won in their history across all sports. You had that academic center outside of athletics that was also there, that was awesome for my parents to see. And then ultimately me, once I realized how valuable that was, and then you add in the traditions and the culture like the 75, and what this football program specifically, but then ultimately athletics means to this community, that was really the icing on the cake. And I just knew this was the place where that I wanted to be, because I got an interesting story. My first night here, I was actually at Backyard Pizza, and our server came and gave us our wings that we had ordered, and we just didn't know anything. My dad was like, "Hey, what do you know about Marshall football?" He's like, "What do I know about Marshall football? I haven't missed a home game since I was 3 years old." Little stories like that meant a lot to me and my family, because my oldest brother had the opportunity to play at Oklahoma. My middle brother played at Rutgers, and we kind of saw the contrast and the differences of what a real college football, college athletic community looks like, and comments like that make it true here. So after moments like that, and I saw the indoor facility, I saw the Buck Harless Center, I basically asked Coach Legg, where do I sign? And I came back for one more visit and made sure I saw everything that I saw, and I wasn't just blinded by the recruiting lights that they put on for you. And I knew this is exactly where I wanted to be, because of all those reasons.
So as someone who lived the life of a Marshall student athlete, what kind of things can you translate? Can you explain to people the details, the things that matter, not only on the field on game day, but all the things that help you live your life and become a well-rounded student athlete?
Yeah. Can you say that question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just everything, the details that matter that we fund, from nutrition to everything.
Yeah, I mean, when people say they're a Marshall fan here, it's not just like I show up on the biggest game on Saturday or the biggest conference basketball game. People really pour their heart and soul into this community. They care for you, whether it's just when they see you at CVS and say, hey, hello, like, how are you doing? How's your health? Like, they really check in on you. And then people really give everything they have. Like I mentioned answering a question before, whether it's their last dollar in their pocket or and it's $5, they'll give it to you. And if it's their last $100,000, they'll give it to you, because that's how much this means. It's the only show in town. And Coach Holliday used to kind of say that a couple times a year and say, all eyes are on us. Like, we're the heart and soul of this place. And people are counting on you, kind of like, and that's some pressure for some people, but I enjoyed having kind of the city on our back. And if it's all is good when the herd wins is a phrase that we used to say a lot. But when people contribute to us, and you see things like that indoor facility or our nutrition go up, we can be great and we can compete at a championship level. the resources that we had gave me the opportunity to play for a championship. I didn't get to quite take one home, but I got to be here and see Marshall soccer win a national title. Something that I feel like everything contributes to the comeback story of the 75. Things like that even contribute to the comeback story of the 75 when it just shows how resilient this community is ultimately. I just get chills thinking about stuff like that because I've met these people who I've had somebody cry in my arms because they were at the Notre Dame game, and then I got to meet them in person just walking around town, and they were graduated in 1971. So I've seen these things with my own eyes, even when I was still playing here, and before the Notre Dame catch. Just people let me know how much it means to have a football program still because they've seen it all, and I feel like it's my duty as a former football player who knows the story to keep stories like that alive and keep the understanding in our program and our athletics so people know how much we really do mean.
Devin Miller, welcome back home.
Thank you.